Okay class, so today we will start our next new chapter, that is chapter number 6, combustion and flame. So we use different kind of fuel for various purposes at home, in industry and for running automobiles. So you must be familiar with the fuels like cow dung, wood, coal, charcoal, petrol, diesel, compressed natural gas, etc. You are familiar with the burning of the candle. Now, what is the difference between the burning of a candle and the burning of a fuel like coal? Maybe you were able to guess right. Candle burns with a flame, whereas coal does not. Similarly, you will find many other materials burning without a flame. Now let us study the chemical process of burning and the type of flame produced during this process. So class, here is our first topic is what is combustion. We find that charcoal burns in air. We know that coal too burns in air, producing carbon dioxide, heat and light. A chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. The substance that undergoes combustion is said to be combustible. It is also called a fuel. The fuel may be solid, liquid or gas. Sometimes light is also given off during combustion, either as a flame or as a glow. So we know that for combustion air is necessary. The candle burns freely when the air is around it, but if you put the candle inside a closed environment, then it will not burn for a longer time. The lowest temperature at which a substance catches fire is called its ignition temperature. We find that a combustible substance cannot catch fire or burn as long as its temperature is lower than the ignition temperature. Have you ever seen a cooking oil catching fire when a frying pan is kept for a long on a burning stove? Kerosene oil and wood do not catch fire on their own at room temperature, but if kerosene oil is heated a little, it will catch fire. But if wood is heated a little, it would still not catch fire. Does it mean the ignition temperature of kerosene is lower than that of wood? Does it mean that we need to take special care for storing kerosene oil? Yes, the temperature of ignition temperature is lower for the kerosene, that's why it get fire much faster than the wood, and wood is having the higher ignition temperature. The substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with a flame are called inflammable substances. Examples of inflammable substances are petrol, alcohol, liquefied petroleum gas, that is LPG. Now class, we will discuss about how do we control fire. You must have seen or heard of fire breaking out in homes, shops and factories. If you have seen such an accident, then you must know that it has been occurring mostly because of the carelessness. So when a fire brigade arrives, what does they do? It pours water on the fire. Water cools the combustible material so its temperature is brought below its ignition temperature. This prevents the fire from spreading. Water vapor also surround the combustible material, helping in cutting off the supply of air. So the fire is extinguished. So you have learned that there are 3 essential requirements for producing fire. Can you list these requirements? So these are fuel, air to supply oxygen and heat. These three things are required. To raise the temperature, we need the heat. So fire can be controlled by removing one or more of these requirements. The job of a fire extinguisher is to cut off the supply of air or to bring down the temperature of the fuel or both. Notice that the fuel in most cases cannot be eliminated. If, for instance, a building catches fire, the whole building is the fuel. Now coming to the next topic class, that is types of combustion. So bringing a burning matchstick or a gas lighter near a gas stove in the kitchen. Turn on the knob of the gas stove. What do you observe? We find that the gas burns rapidly and produces heat and light. Such combustion is known as rapid combustion. There are substances like phosphorus which burn in air at room temperature. The type of combustion in which a material suddenly bursts into flame without the application of any apparent cause is called spontaneous combustion. Basically, in spontaneous combustion class, there is not required yet you have to apply any external force or material to start a combustion. It will spontaneously happen and it will occur autonomously. For example, if you see this phosphorus, if you just keep it outside in the air, it will burn. They don't require any extra elements to burn them. We generally have fireworks on festival days. When a cracker is ignited, a sudden reaction takes place with the evolution of heat, light and sound. A large amount of gas formed in the reaction is liberated. Such a reaction is called explosion. Explosion can also take place if pressure is applied on the cracker. Now class, we will discuss our next topic, that is flame. The substances which vaporizes during burning gives flames. For example, kerosene oil and molten wax rise through the wick and are vaporized during burning and form flames. Charcoal, on the other hand, does not vaporize and so it does not produce flame. Here class, there is a figure given, figure 6.10, that is different zones of candle flame. You can see the different zones of candle flame here. Now coming to the next topic class, that is what is a fuel. So recall the sources of heat energy for domestic and industrial purpose are mainly wood, charcoal, petrol, kerosene, etc. These substances are called fuels. A good fuel is one which is readily available, it is cheap, it burns easily in air at a moderate rate, it produces a large amount of heat, it does not leave behind any undesirable substances. There is probably no fuel that could be considered as an ideal fuel. We should look for an ideal fuel which fulfill most of the requirements for the particular use. Fuels differ in their cost. Some fuels are cheaper than others. Now class, we will come to our next topic, that is fuel efficiency. Now suppose you were asked to boil a given quantity of water using cow dung, coal and LPG as fuel. Which fuel would you prefer? You give your reasons for that. You may take the help of your parents. Do these three fuels produce the same amount of heat? The amount of heat energy produced on complete combustion of 1 kg of a fuel is called its calorific value. The calorific value of a fuel is expressed in a unit called kilojoule per kg. Now class, in table 6.4, some of the calorific values of different fuels are given here. You can go through them. Now class, we will discuss about the burning of fuel leads to harmful products. So the increasing fuel consumption has harmful effects on environment. So the first one is carbon fuels like wood, coal, petroleum release unburnt carbon particles. These fine particles are dangerous pollutants causing respiratory disease such as asthma. Now the second point is incomplete combustion of these fuels give carbon monoxide gas. It is a very poisonous gas. It is dangerous to burn coal in a closed room. The carbon monoxide gas produced can kill persons sleeping in that room. Now the third point is combustion of most fuels release carbon dioxide in the environment. Increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the air is believed to cause global warming. Now the fourth point is burning of coal and diesel releases sulfur dioxide gas. It is an extremely suffocating and corrosive gas. Moreover, petrol engine give off gaseous oxides of nitrogen. Oxides of sulfur and nitrogen dissolve in rainwater and form acids. Such rain is called acid rain. It is very harmful for crops, buildings and soil. The use of diesel and petrol as fuels in automobiles is being replaced by CNG because CNG produces the harmful product in very small amounts, and CNG is also a cleaner fuel. So class, here we have discussed all the topics of the chapter. I hope that all of you have understood everything well. That's all for today's class. Thank you class.